Hello, my friends. It is Sarah, the itty bitty Celtic witch, and today I am here joining you with our June witchcraft resource of the month, and that is exploring everyday witchcraft, different tips, different steps that I have found to be very, very useful in my own practice as a witch, and how they have helped me sort of come into my magic as this journey has unfolded. So a little bit of a background where I'm coming from this place of everyday witchcraft. So when I first started out, I would focus quite strongly on creating the perfect imagery for a ritual, getting all the candles, getting all the crystals laid out. And yet I was so focused and so worried and so stressed in that ritual space that everything wasn't quite as it should be, that things weren't arranged just so, or whatever it may be, that things weren't witchy enough, that I would end up getting overwhelmed and unable to sink into the ritual itself. So after a couple of these sort of stressed out experiences, I realized this really wasn't fitting and this really wasn't working, and that some shifts and some changes needed to be made. So then I started moving my practice more towards a concept of, okay, how can I embrace magic on an everyday basis as a solid foundation to build off of a daily sort of practice, daily sort of ritual mindset and mindfulness. So that's sort of where I'm coming from for this witchcraft resource, from a place where if you don't have time for ritual on a given day, if you're not feeling up to it, because sometimes that happens, if things pop up, if there's stressors around that, or you're just trying to heal through some energy around things looking just so like I was, then embracing magic on an everyday basis is a really great way to begin to rekindle and reconnect with your practice. So let's dive right in, shall we? This is in blog post format. Just have a little click up above or below to have a look at the post and dive into it in written format. So my first step or tip was to embrace a more open perspective of magic. There is magic happening every second of the day, whether you are doing the dishes, whether you're studying for a test, whether you're commuting somewhere, whether you're running chores. There is magical energy around you, and you don't need to wait to be in a circle or in a very specific sort of ritual space to begin connecting with that. So by changing and creating some shifts around your mindset of magic being everywhere, you can begin to connect with it more freely rather than just in a set ritual time frame. And then step number 2 was about growing from this, honoring the little things. So as you're connecting with this everyday magic, as you're exploring all the different magical moments that are popping up in your day, then comes in this aspect of honoring the little things. And if you really resonate with journaling, with writing, sometimes it can be a really helpful foundation to write down a few things, a few ideas that you do throughout the day. It could be just regular chores. So some of the things that sort of popped into my own practice were having a cup of tea every morning. That is something that I do. Outdoor walks when commuting, when doing chores, when grocery shopping, whatever it may be. Showers and baths, cooking meals, cleaning, tidying up. All of these things that are a daily practice or every other day practice, or however it may be in your lifestyle, jot down a few of these general things that you do, and in doing so, you might begin to discover some little things, some little ways that you can begin to expand your magical practice, and different ways that you can infuse magic into something that might be seemingly mundane, like cleaning up. So diving a little further into those suggestions. So having a morning cup of tea. I love a morning cup of tea. In the summer, sometimes it's a glass of water or water with lemon because it's very hot outside. But I do love a morning cuppa. So this can be a great foundation, great stepping stone for connecting with your magic in the morning. So when you're having your morning tea, you can bring a awareness, a mindfulness to the tea that you are drinking or the coffee that you are drinking, how it's going to wake you up, how it's going to energize you, how it's going to soothe you and prepare you for the day ahead. And you can also weave in a little magical spell there. You can stir in a little pentacle symbol or any other symbol that resonates with you to really infuse this very simple, very common activity that's easy enough to do as you put on your kettle or you turn on the coffee pot into a magical experience. Then there's outdoor walks, heading outside for some fresh air. And there can be this idea that it needs to be in a very quiet, very sort of sanctuary type sacred outdoor space. But that's not always how things work, right? That's not always how it goes. So in this sort of instance, when you're commuting, when you're grocery shopping, yes, you're heading to the store, yes, you're picking up some cereal or something, whatever it is you're headed to the store for. Yes, you're on that journey and it might not be in a sacred grove, but you're still outside. You're breathing in fresh air, you're soaking up sunshine, you're feeling the refreshing rain or the biting wind in the snow. You're out there, you're connected with nature, you're connected with that green magical current, and bringing mindful awareness to this can be a really simple way to start engaging with the natural magic that is around you on a very sort of low key, easy way that doesn't require you to set out an hour each week for a hike into the wilderness, because you're still outside. Whether you're in the wilderness, whether you're picking up groceries, you're outside and you can connect with that magic. Showers and baths. These are so refreshing, whether you're having a shower or a soothing soak. This can be a great way to wash away the ick of any sort of energy that you might have picked up on simply by being really mindful of this sort of refreshing process of water element energy washing things away. And you can also dive into the herbal properties of any sort of body wash or soap that you might use and connect with it on that herbal magic sort of level as well, such as with lavender. I love lavender for soothing, for relaxing. Or if I need to wake up, then something like a spearmint or a minty soap that's really invigorating, really fresh, and it really awakens sort of the mind to have a smell of peppermint. So those sorts of ways you can incorporate and add a little extra magic to part of your morning shower routine. Cooking meals. I do love food. I do love baking. I love feeling the dough as I knead it, as it comes together, as the flour and the water and the yeast all mixes, and then it becomes this wonderful, delicious bread. So cooking meals, a little bit of a bread sidetrack there. Cooking meals is a really great way to engage with some kitchen witchery, some kitchen magic. And if you're interested in a bit of a longer discussion on kitchen witchcraft, just check out the video above. But essentially, you can bring some mindfulness into the food you're cooking, and as you're preparing it and infusing it with love for you, for your family, that is adding magic, that is adding good, positive energy that you are caring for yourself, you're caring for others, and you're nourishing. And then last but certainly not least, cleaning and tidying up. This was actually probably my first foray into everyday witchcraft and everyday magic, because I enjoy a nice sort of cleanup. I would add essential oils to my mop bucket and I would go to town, and those floors would smell amazing. And they'd also have this really refreshing healing properties from the essential oils I used. The ones that I used to use most frequently were rosemary for hearth and home energy. Right now I use a lot of peppermint, which is a very soft, healing, but also invigorating energy. And I just find it really, really refreshes the space. So looking at all of these different ways that you aren't really going out of your way, you're not really changing your day or your schedule up that much, and yet you're adding so much magic in the little things. And then step number 4 is be kind to spirit. It's okay sometimes if ritual doesn't work out. That's just the way it is. That is just sort of the way it rolls. So if you are all sort of geared up for a ritual weeks ahead or thinking about it, and then the day comes, whether it's a full moon or a Sabbath or some other event, and you're just, life events pop up, something just isn't right, you're just not feeling it, be kind to yourself and re-engage with some of these everyday practices to rekindle that magic, to soothe it on a really low-key level. And then step number 5, keep spirit open to messages. So you're not just getting messages in ritual, you are receiving messages from spirit all of the time. That sun, that ray of sunshine that appears just when you need it, just when you need that uplifting energy. Perhaps you see a bird or a creature outside that takes you out of the sort of mental space that you're in and infuses a little bit of natural creature joy there, a little bit of animal magic into your routine, into your practice. All of these little things, a refreshing breeze blowing by in the middle of a very humid, still moment, all of these things can be messages from spirit to check in, to reconnect with your inner magic, to reconnect with the natural magic. So be open simply to the signs that are around you, and as they pop up, sort of soak them in and understand that it's okay. Sometimes messages don't pop up just in ritual. They can come and go all the time, and the more you work towards having sort of an open perspective about these messages and these signs, the more you'll be able to sort of see them and connect with that energy and that ray of sunshine. So those are a few tips on how you can connect with your everyday magic and how you can rekindle some magical energy if you don't have time for a sort of full ritual. And they are just very, very simple ways. I found them very, very helpful in my own practice. They really helped to strengthen my magic, to reconnect with self, to reconnect with spirit. If you're looking for some additional ways that you can connect with everyday magic, have a look at my Patreon page. New Moon Dancers and Up get instant access to the Magical Moments printable workbook, which touches on a few of the topics I mentioned and dives into some more over the course of the 33-page printables, and you can just connect and engage with the magic on that level. And the linky to that is below or up above. Either way works. And if you guys ever have any questions about Patreon, about the things I'm doing over there, about anything in my shop, please feel free to either post a comment or send me a message or an email. I'm always happy to chat. I wish you so very many blessings and a wonderful, wonderful experience connecting with the magic that is all around you every day.